wealth shouldn't be measured by the amount in your bank account. It should be measured by the effect that you have on others. You're a wealthy girl.
I'm falling more and more for you every day. If your perfect match was standing right in front of you, would you even know it?
No.
Your energy is so amazing. We don't have to say anything.
I'm ready to be in love again.
I would gladly take being a hypocrite than being a liar like you.
They think it's just a game, but for me, it's not.
You got something to say? I'd rather be the person to go because of this. I can't believe he did that.
He should leave.
No lights. Blackout.
Oh my gosh.
You all just lost $250,000.
What is wrong with you people? Why are you gonna give up? Why?
Never give up on love!
What is good, people? It's Coffee back at it, man. And I don't know if any of y'all remember that show that trailer was for there. That was season 3. It was some dating / reality show on MTV called Are You the One? If you watched it, you remember it, you knew anything about it, comment, tap in below. It was something like you heard him talking about winning money. I guess there was like $1 million prize. And I don't know, it's all about your match. The one for you could be right in front of you, and do you even know it? And finding compatibility, but at the same time competing for money. I never heard of it before. I don't think it really went anywhere, but you see there was numerous seasons of it, so I guess MTV ran with it. That ain't saying much these days. On a total side note, unrelated, it's a shame how whack MTV has become. As someone who grew up watching MTV on their content, I personally didn't tune into MTV for reality shows. I tuned in for the music, but I liked music related shows. I like some shows with my MTV, but somewhere along the line they got lost in the sauce trying to stay up on ish. I think they totally phased music videos out, and I think it was when reality TV started jumping off and a lot of networks tried to implement it into their schedule. MTV just got fucked up, and I don't know, man. It's just, aside from the point, I don't want to get too off of what we're talking about here, because this is some disturbing-ish on the real. And it also reminded me of another situation of a big content machine that a lot of individuals react to their content, make content about. We're talking about No Jumper, something that I don't know if I want to say it got swept under the rug, but people tried to brush it off like it was nothing. A sick criminal that was over there who got fired quick. I think people realized what a weirdo he was. We're talking about Kiki, AD's brother, who also ain't with No Jumper anymore. And Kiki's name came up in a recent Milk 7-4 interview. And it was weird. Like Adam 22 really showed his weird side, and again, I'm kind of getting off topic, but not really. It was when Milk 7-4 sat down with him. Milk exposed Kiki's paperwork, and we'll talk more about that later, but it was wild. Adam 22 actually didn't really seem to care much about it. He was like okay with that. He fired him for a totally different reason, but aside from it, Kiki was just a cold weirdo. And getting into what we're talking about here and how it's related to that situation, this guy, Connor Smith, who was on that show, Are You the One, on season 3. You see the pictures of him and everything like that. This dude was on the run for 13 months, and he did some ish like what Kiki did. You know what I mean? Use the internet to prey on a minor. This Connor Smith dude, he's now 33. He, like I said, he was on the run. He was using the internet, some kind of dating app, and happened to be using an app where there were decoy police on there. And that's a good thing that the police are doing that, going on and posing as minors. And we see there was a lot of YouTubers making content like that as well, catching, exposing a lot of these weirdos that are out there using these apps, dating sites, social media to prey on minors. It's absolutely sickening, disturbing the amount of creeps are out there. Like all these YouTubers, if you watch their content doing these stings, It was, and if you've ever seen interviews with any of them, it was absolutely mind-boggling in a horrific, horrendous, disturbing way. The sheer numbers of the creeps that were out on these apps, just cruising the web, looking for minors to exploit. It's truly sickening. And sometimes the police will work with these dudes catching these weirdos, sometimes not, but something's got to be done, man. With all this facial recognition technology and ish that is out there, I don't know. You know, I'm no computer programmer. I'm not acting like I got the answer, but I feel like there's some kind of better solution than what's going on now. Like, these sick fucks gotta get caught, they gotta get locked up, they gotta get put on the registry, and that's what it is. And back to talking about this guy Connor. Apparently he was talking with who he thought was an underage girl for weeks, sending videos and all kinds of ish. This case originated in Illinois, Lake County, Illinois. And it actually got to the point that he was going there to meet this said to be minor, you know, which was really a police decoy. He thought it was a minor. That's the thing, like with this Kiki dude from No Jumper acting like just because it was a decoy, he didn't do nothing wrong. No, you're a sick creep. You thought you were talking to a minor. You's a weirdo, B. But this Connor Smith guy pulled up. This thing was all set to go down, and I don't know the specifics, but somehow he escaped when the police moved in to apprehend him, and he had been on the run for 13 months, and that time on the run ended just the other day when in Pinellas County, Florida, Clearwater, Florida, the authorities took him into custody. And in the press release, they mentioned that there was no signs of drug use and no signs of mental illness. I don't know why they mentioned that in the press release, but I'm wondering if it's because they're basically trying to make that clear so he doesn't try to later on during the court process try to make some plea like, oh, I have mental health issues or substance abuse problems, to try to get him some kind of program to get out of this. You know what I mean? These creeps gotta pay. Fuck all that program-ish. Again, I don't know if that's what it is, but I just kind of found it odd that they put that in the press release talking about when he was arrested. You know, they said he had no weapons on him, this, that, and the third, but they specifically mentioned, you know, no signs of mental health, no substances, wasn't under the influence. I'm just guessing that's why they mentioned that. Who knows? But lock this sick fuck up, because he actually had a similar situation before. I don't know the specifics, but he was charged with something with a minor where the R word was involved and all this different stuff, but he ended up beating the case, and his lawyer went on this big rant talking about how his client was vindicated, an innocent man, and look, here he is later on using these dating sites. Allegedly, we do got to point that out, innocent till proven guilty, but the evidence is out there and it's overwhelming. This guy's a creep, and he had been in touch with the authorities, you know what I mean, where he was talking about surrendering and bullshitting with them and just moving around and hiding out for 13 months, but they got his ass. He got hit with 3 counts, 1 being grooming, 2 being traveling to meet a minor for an actual encounter, and the 3rd one was disseminating harmful material, which was the videos and stuff like that he was sending to who he thought he was a minor. And let's get back into talking about that. It wasn't really it was a cop all along, so it's not a big deal like Kiki over there on No Jumper was talking about. This dude took that case to trial and lost. And I talk about this because, as I stated before, and this just coming back up on Milk 74's interview, right? He made some comments on a video that I made where I went deep into the paperwork and went over the messages, everything like that. And this dude was clearly guilty. He went as far to meet who he thought was a minor. It was different with him where he wasn't trying to be with the minor, which it's all sick, it's all disgusting. I'm just pointing out he was trying to pimp a minor who his whole argument was originally the profile said that they were of age, and then later on they changed the age. And he continued to talk to who he thought was an individual who was underage, that he was talking them into pimping. Like I keep pointing out, on top of it all, like he's a dumb motherfucker, because you're just talking to someone saying, oh, go do this and that, and explaining the game to them, never meeting them. And then they were talking about, oh, I got some money for you, come meet me. And I guess originally where they were supposed to meet at some room, Kiki dude was talking about like, oh, that's where they do a lot of bus sat on Vice Night. And then he later tried to meet the individual at some kind of fast food restaurant. He always tries to say, oh, I was on my dollar store security guard job on my lunch break, and I was just curious about who it was. It's all disturbing. You're going online trying to find women to pimp off social media. Shows the true character of an individual, if you ask me. And then the individual says that they're underage. It don't matter if they originally said that they weren't. It don't matter if it's really a cop. You know what I mean? It shows your intention that if it wasn't a cop, what you were going to do. And it's the same thing with this Connor Smith motherfucker who was on this MTV show. He was trying to have relations. Kiki was trying to pimp. It's all disgusting, disturbing, actual exploitation-ish. And we just got to keep it a buck and, you know, let these creeps know what it is, man. It's dangerous out here. And again, everyone be aware of the number of Pr3ds out there surfing the web with sick intentions. Real talk. Be safe, everyone. You know, that ass. Like I said, the authorities really got to get it together and do something about this. I'm not saying they're not trying to. As you see, they are on there as decoys and whatnot. But when you see all these YouTubers and you really go through what they're doing and you see it's for real, you know, they're not making up this content. There's an overwhelming amount of these motherfuckers out there, and it's twisted, like I said, with as far as technology and everything has come, that these sick individuals are out there with the audacity to just be surfing the web doing this ish with no fear. You know what I'm saying? They got to get locked up, face consequences, get hit with some time, and put on that registry so the whole world knows who the fuck they were. You feel me? So hit the comments again. Let me know if you watched the show, if you were familiar with the show, if you remember this guy from the show, or if you were aware of this story at all. Let's talk about it all. Stay tuned for updates on it and whatnot. Let's talk in the comments. And oh yeah, one more thing about this dude over there at No Jumper. He was running around telling everyone that, I don't know if he was saying he was going to get an appeal or what it was, but he was claiming he had some ish going down with a lawyer where he was going to get removed off the registry. What happened with that? Ain't heard nothing about that. It's all cap. That's another thing about a lot of these Pr3ds. They're lying ass manipulators. Subscribe is coffee. I'm out of here. Peace.